Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Jai Hind. Historical events of 7th May. A journey through time of 7th May 2025 Wednesday. Today's that is 7th May highlight in history. 1625 State funeral of James VI and 1 1566 1625 is held at Westminster Abbey. 1664 Inaugural celebrations begin at Louis XIV of France's new palace of Versailles. 1685 Battle of Britizhelka between rebels and Ottoman forces. 1697 Stockholm's royal castle dating back to medieval times is destroyed by fire. It is replaced in the 18th century by the current royal palace. 1718 The city of New Orleans is founded by Jean-Baptiste Le Moyne, Sieur de Bienville. 1763 Pontiac's war begins with Pontiac's attempt to seize Fort Detroit from the British. 1765 HMS Victory is launched at Chatham Dockyard, Kent. Siege not commissioned until 1778. 1794 French Revolution. Robespierre introduces the cult of the supreme being in the National Convention as the new state religion of the French First Republic. 1798 French Revolutionary Wars. A French force attempting to dislodge a small British garrison on the Ile Saint Marcouf is repulsed with heavy losses. 1824 World premiere of Ludwig van Beethoven's Ninth Symphony in Vienna, Austria. The performance is conducted by Michael Umlauf under the composer's supervision. 1832 Greece's independence is recognized by the Treaty of London. 1840 The Great Natchez Tornado strikes Natchez, Mississippi, killing 317 people. It is the second deadliest tornado in United States history. 1846 The Cambridge Chronicle, America's oldest surviving weekly newspaper, is published for the first time in Cambridge, Massachusetts. 1864 American Civil War. The Army of the Potomac under General Ulysses S. Grant breaks off from the Battle of the Wilderness and moves southwards. 1864 The world's oldest surviving clipper ship, the City of Adelaide, is launched by William Pyle, Hay and Combe in Sunderland, England, for transporting passengers and goods between Britain and Australia. 1895 In Saint Petersburg, Russian scientist Alexander Stepanovich Popov demonstrates to the Russian Physical and Chemical Society his invention, the Popov lightning detector, a primitive radio receiver. In some parts of the former Soviet Union, the anniversary of this day is celebrated as Radio Day. 1915 World War One German submarine U-20 sinks RMS Lusitania, killing 1,199 people, including 128 Americans. Public reaction to the sinking turns many former pro-Germans in the United States against the German Empire. 1915 The Republic of China accedes to 13 of the 21 demands, extending the Empire of Japan's control over Manchuria and the Chinese economy. 1920 Polish-Soviet War. Kiev offensive. Polish troops led by Joseph Pilsudski and Edward Rudz-Smigly and assisted by a symbolic Ukrainian force captured Kiev only to be driven out by the Red Army counter-offensive a month later. 1920 Treaty of Moscow. Soviet Russia recognizes the independence of the Democratic Republic of Georgia only to invade the country 6 months later. 1930 7.1 megawatt Salmaz earthquake shakes northwestern Iran and southwestern Turkey with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 9, violent. Up to 3,000 people were killed. 1931 The standoff between criminal Francis Crowley and 300 members of the Newark Police Department takes place in his fifth-floor apartment on West 91st Street, New York City. 1937 Spanish Civil War. The German Condor Legion, equipped with Henkel E-51 biplanes, arrives in Spain to assist Francisco Franco's forces. 1940 World War II. The Norway debate in the British House of Commons begins and leads to the replacement of Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain with Winston Churchill 3 days later. 1942 World War II. During the Battle of the Coral Sea, United States Navy aircraft carrier aircraft attack and sink the Imperial Japanese Navy light aircraft carrier Soho. The battle marks the first time in naval history that two enemy fleets fight without visual contact between warring ships. 1945 World War II. Last German U-boat attack of the war. Two freighters are sunk off the Firth of Forth, Scotland. 1945 World War II. General Field Marshal Wilhelm Keitel signs unconditional surrender terms at Reims, France, ending Germany's participation in the war. The document takes effect the next day. 1946 Tokyo Telecommunications Engineering, later renamed Sony, is founded. 1948 The Council of Europe is founded during the Hague Congress. 1952 The concept of the integrated circuit, the basis for all modern computers, is first published by Geoffrey Dahmer. 1954 Indochina War. The Battle of Dien Bien Phu ends in a French defeat and a Viet Minh victory. The battle began on March 13. 1960 Cold War. U-2 crisis of 1960. Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev announces that his nation is holding American U-2 pilot Gary Powers. 1964 Pacific Airlines Flight 773 is hijacked by Francisco Gonzalez and crashes in Contra Costa Country, California, killing 44. 1986 Canadian Patrick Moreau becomes the first person to climb each of the 7 summits. 1991 A fire and explosion occurs at the fireworks factory at Sungai Buloh, Malaysia, killing 26. 1992 Michigan ratifies a 203-year-old proposed amendment to the United States Constitution, making the 27th Amendment law. This amendment bars the US Congress from giving itself a midterm peerage. 1992 Space Shuttle Program. The Space Shuttle Endeavour is launched on its first mission, STS-49. 1992 Three employees at a McDonald's restaurant in Sydney, Nova Scotia, Canada are brutally murdered and a fourth permanently disabled after a botched robbery. It is the first fast food murder in Canada. 1994 Edvard Munch's painting The Scream is recovered undamaged after being stolen from the National Gallery of Norway in February. 1998 Mercedes-Benz buys Chrysler for US $40 billion and forms Daimler Chrysler in the largest industrial merger in history. 1999, Pope John Paul II travels to Romania, becoming the first pope to visit a predominantly Eastern Orthodox country since the Great Schism in 1054. 1999, Kosovo War. Three Chinese citizens are killed and 20 wounded when a NATO aircraft inadvertently bombs the Chinese embassy in Belgrade, Serbia. 1999, in Guinea-Bissau, President João Bernardo Vieira is ousted in a military coup. 2000, Vladimir Putin is inaugurated as President of Russia. 2002, an Egyptair Boeing 737-500 crashes on approach to Tunis Carthage International Airport, killing 14 people. 2002, the China Northern Airlines MD-82 plunges into the Yellow Sea, killing 112 people. 2004, American businessman Nick Berg is beheaded by Islamic militants. The act is recorded on videotape and released on the internet. Thank you very much for your patience. Request for like, share and subscribe.